Snuck up on me. Hey, Scarecrow. Hey, Linda Carter. Sam reports. Linda Horner. Patrice Ann. Thank you. Sam reports again. And Charity's Clarity and 12B Georgia. Thank you guys for coming in. We got a bit of a show for you tonight. It's going to be like always. We're just going to be throwing information at you and let y'all decide what you want to do with it. But before I get started, I want to thank everybody for watching the live stream. I want to thank anybody who catches it on the replay. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Hit the like button on your way in or out, please. And leave me a comment and hit the bell icon so you'll know when we go live. So we're going to get started with this tonight. We're going to dispense with all the preliminaries. You know, it's neither here and there about the PayPal thing. So I do want to give a few shout outs, but I'll have to look it up and I don't have them right now. Before the end of the show, I'll give those shout outs to people who've donated to my PayPal account. And I'm very grateful. But it all boils down to one thing, and it's this, is here we go again. It's like it never ends. You know, one thing happens and before it's over, another thing starts. And so here we go again with the Satanist billionaire, Bill Gates, who's acting like he runs the country. He acts like he's the president, like he's the authority over everything. You know, Gates owns the patent for the COVID-19 virus. He funded the research for it. So the guilt and the lives of all these dead that everybody wants to put on Trump actually belong on Bill Gates' head. And they should lay them right in his hands because he's the one who funded the research to make this COVID-19 killer virus. Now Gates is calling for testing, and more testing. Oh, we got to do the testing because guess why? Because, of course, Bill Gates is making money off of every test performed. So of course, he wants massive testing. You know, that's why he's put out this whole campaign. It's money, 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 money. He's the 9th richest man in the world, but he doesn't have enough. You see, he wants to have total and complete power. He is a tyrannical personality. This guy is useless. You know, it's always about the money. But his money doesn't give him the right to dictate policy or reopening of the states. So I'm going to tell you, Bill Gates, go to one of your private islands or your massive underground bunkers and leave the COVID solution to the president. He is the president, by the way, there, Bill. So you've never been elected or appointed to be in politics. So just shut up, go away and sit down, go hide yourself. We don't need you to save us. God does the saving. Not you, Bill Gates. So I know that you've got something on Bill Gates, so I'm going to shut up right there and let you have it, brother.
Well, let me say this. First of all, hello to everybody in their chat.
Very good.
Number two is if it came for political correctness tonight, you're not going to get it from me.
Or me.
I have about had it with these douchebags. Speaking of Bill Gates, Bill Gates is in the process of working on decreasing our livestock production and boosting lab-grown meat. Now, I have an article where the United States government is going around or going to be going around to our local farms and assisting in killing off our chickens and beef cows, our egg production, the whole 9 yards. Because there's nowhere to go with all this meat. So we must kill off these animals.
They're going to do a
euthanization. They're going to euthanize them.
Yeah.
But ironically, you read in Reuters that the first shipment of red meat from Africa has landed in Philadelphia. Why the hell are we getting meat from Africa? Number one. And number two, who the hell is controlling Africa right now? Oh, let
China.
me see. Oh, them goddamn commies again. That's who's running Africa. So we're killing our farmers, our farms. We're killing our animals to bring in shit meat from Africa blows my freaking mind, pisses me off beyond belief. And on top of that, he wants us eating this lab-grown meat. I got something for you to eat, Bill.
So he wants to. So then he wants to do away with livestock and do lab-grown meat. Can you imagine? Here's what's going to happen, people. Lab-grown meat. Who's to say it's going to be beef that they grow in that lab? How do you know it's not going to be children who were supposed to be aborted, and yet they were sent to this facility to be processed as food? Have you never seen the movie Soylent Green? Come on, people. Wake up. These demon rats and these evil in our country and in our government and in our making our policies, these people are everything you've ever seen on TV. If you've ever seen a horror film, believe me, they've already done it.
Yeah.
And they're still doing it.
If you
That's just the way it happens.
If
It's not. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, if you guys think this is bullshit, believe it or not, them panty-wearing snowflakes over at Twitter.
Excuse me, Jack Koo. I'm going to apologize for fighting the fan. I'm sure he didn't even realize he said that word.
What's that?
GD.
Okay.
You said GD a few minutes ago.
Oh, I apologize. Anyways,
Okay.
Twitter has already announced they're going to start censoring any talk of food shortages. Well, if it's not happening like you people say, then why do you need to censor it?
Exactly. If they're not play, Greg, how you doing, brother? That's my cousin, Greg Martin. Everybody welcome him here. Glad you're here, Greg. But I'll tell you, it is. Oh, and Greg, while I have you here, I want to give you my sincere and heartfelt condolences of the death of your brother, Alan. I'll tell you, it's tragic, and I appreciate you for all you did for him and everything up until his final days. So, God bless you, Greg, and I love you. I just wanted to let you know. So anyway, we're going to be getting on with this, and it's to the point, John, that it's almost like barking up the wrong tree. These people jump from one place to the other, and they hide behind this and they hide behind that, and then without fail, you'll have a few get out there and throw their name out there. But see, there's other people behind these people, like Bill Gates and Hillary Clinton and all these people. There's somebody pulling their strings.
Absolutely.
Those are the ones I want to see fall. Those are the ones that need to be brought to justice.
Well, you know what?
That's right. Jeff B says local dairy farmers here have been dumping milk.
Yeah. They're dumping milk. They're churning over their crops in the fields because they're rotting in the fields. And yet we're importing crap from other countries. Think about that, guys. You know what? I mean, seriously, if you want to be patriots, don't buy any meat. Don't buy any meat at all because it's coming from America. Let that crap sit in the store until it rots.
Think about it like this. Make it plain and simple. All of our cattle, all of our pork, all of our chickens, and our eggs. Now, if not all, a majority of all have been buried, burnt, or somehow destroyed. And they're doing this just like they've always done. I'll tell you, John, right quick. I have my family in Alabama. My mama's side of the family have been farmers since, God made the plow. But I have relatives out there who still farm up to 2,000 acres at a time. And they told me that they were given an offer of 85% of their gross if they don't plant one seed.
Yes.
In other words, let your fields lay dormant and don't plant and we're going to give you 85% of your gross.
Yep.
You're talking a couple of $1 million.
That's what's happening now.
And so now they're reducing the food stores. You know, they're stopping the slaughter of cattle and pork and chickens.
Yep.
You know, they're throwing away eggs and milk. And they're doing it just for the reason you said, John.
Yep.
That can't be American. It has to be anti-American.
You know what's amazing is when I read the article, what blew my mind was the part that said Africa ships tons of red meat to starving Americans.
How about that?
That's
and
how
they can't feed their own people.
Yeah, that's how the article was written.
And they can't even feed their own people. How's that work?
Well, not just that. We're killing our own animal, or not. The government's killing our animals.
Yeah, and burying them or burning them.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing. It really is. Think about that, guys. You know,
and if you think for a minute that our country is here to provide for you and here to make sure, if they've got all this excess beef, well, why don't they process it and give it to those who don't have any? They could feed all of the poor and indigents and the needy in America with what they're throwing away.
Yep. Excellent point, Charity. I was going to get into that. They're already talking. They tried this before with meat from Africa, but they were finding that a lot of it carried Ebola.
Yep.
And it's still carrying Ebola, but our government's going to let it slide through. So good point there, Charity.
Yeah. And Mr. Dingleberry, NWO, says, I've seen piles of potatoes in Idaho rotting on the ground.
Yep.
You're right, brother.
Yep.
They're going to starve you into submission, says Wayne Rogers.
You know, people need to do is, if they can, you know, you go by a farm and you see the vegetables out there just laying there. Go talk to the farmer. Ask him if he's interested in selling some. Get your friends to buy them. Go pay the man cash.
Invader Zim says we got to stop turning on each other. Get them guns. Don't put them up. Get them ready. Get on the same team because we're the enemy, darn it. We're basically doing their job for them. And you're so right, Invader Zim. You're so right. And that's why I don't want hate and distinction. I really don't. So you have to wonder, the people that do, what kind of people are they? And we're talking about people that you voted for.
Yeah.
I voted for.
So
I got to trim my beard. It's getting out of hand.
That's my my rant. The food shortages are coming. I don't care what people say. They are coming. Funny, here's another article, and they're talking about African swine fever as they send pigs to the United States, pig meat to the United States. Yet we're killing our pigs off. Yeah. Think about that, people.
Yeah, and that's something else. Krabby McFace said, Crab McFace. I really like that name. But anyway, she was talking to Charity, and she said, you have to wonder, no labels required. Yeah, why don't they tell us that we're buying meat at the grocery store from Africa or Ethiopia or wherever those plague-ridden countries are, who want to send us their skinny, scrawny, rib-seeing, hip bones showing livestock that's so stringy and full of just nothing but stuff that we don't need in our country. These cattle even carry Ebola, like you said.
Yep.
So why aren't we bringing them into our country?
Think about this, guys, okay? Remember back during the era of Captain Kenya, where the federal government bought millions and millions and millions of pounds of freeze-dried food?
Right.
Our food supply is running out. So these idiots will sit there and go, well, come to us. We'll give you food. Just take this needle. And people will flock.
That's the whole plan, John. I believe it in my heart. their whole plan is to slowly, they're not going to do it all at once. They're going to slowly implement a food shortage. And it's going to get really deep really quick.
Yes, it is.
And then when that happens, then they're going to come up with, oh, but we have this for you.
Yep.
See? And everything that they have for us is un-American. It's unclean. It's unsanitary. It's deadly, possibly.
Oh, absolutely.
But yet that's what they want to throw at us to feed our kids. You're right, JQ.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been saying that.
The next problem, I thought it was going to be an electrical grid thing in the beginning.
No,
it's not. It's going to be the food chain.
And you know what's coming after that? And I've been saying it. I called the food chain, the food crisis. And I've been saying after that is going to be the bank run.
Yep. Yep.
Now, I went to my bank today. We have banks all over down here in Florida. No, the first 3 that you go to are closed. There's one miles up the road. They narrowed it down to 1 or 2 banks here and there. It's already started. They're starting down here. Somebody was saying just recently that they went to pull money out of the bank and they were told $200 was the max they could pull out for the day.
Yeah. And what happened to that big thing they've got out there on the window and everywhere else saying that they're FDIC approved for how many hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yeah. Bull crap.
Yeah, right.
Personally, people, if you got some money in the bank, take it out, hide it in your house, hide it outside in mason jars like they used to.
That's right.
Seriously.
I want to say hello to Black Matter and Wayne Rogers and American Mindbender. Thank you for coming, guys. I appreciate it. Event 201 explains step by step how they're going to collapse everything.
Yes. Yep, absolutely. Valid point. And they're actually ahead of schedule.
Yeah. And Jackie Koo says Bank of America can't take out much.
That's the bank that I just came from today. Yeah. Actually, I deposited a check and told them I wanted it all. I won't say how much it was for, but they said they had to order it. And why don't I open an account? I said, thanks, but no thanks. I invest my money in guns and silver. I said, because when I go to my safe, there's not a sign on the door saying temporarily closed. Go down the road.
That's right. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As of tomorrow, once my Social Security hits the bank, I'm going down there and I'm taking out all but $10.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave $10 in the bank to keep it open. And I'm taking the rest out because what's going to happen when, like you said, you go to your local bank and you pull up wanting to get some money, they're closed, the ATM is turned off, and they're not going to give you any money.
It's coming, people. I'm telling you right now. This has been planned for a long time. The food crisis is here now. The bank runs are going to be next. They are not going to stop. I keep telling you, people, they're not going to stop until we stop them. Yes, the $100 bill is going to be gone. I just read an article about that, as a matter of fact.
Mr. Dingleberry, NWO, yeah, I wonder what type of meat they're going to be trying to feed us or what they're already trying to feed us. Will it be Soylent Red or Soylent Green? If you haven't seen that movie, people, go watch it. Soylent Green is the name of it.
And the other thing, too, is what are they putting in it for vaccinations that we're going to be eating? Think about that.
I'll tell you, Crab McFace, I understand what you're saying, that you'll fight for the right for Gates and Fauci to have unlimited vaccines as frequently as they'd like. But see, that's the whole thing. As frequency as they like, because they're not coming up with anything. They're coming up with zeros. But, and yeah, Krabby, it's not a big deal. Truth of the matter is, we're going to know everything in a short period of time. It's all going to come out when everything falls. And it's going to fall because that's what they wanted to do.
Linda asked, when do we rise? Very, very, very soon. We're not talking months. We're not talking years.
We rise by being prepared.
I think we're talking weeks. Because a lot of these states now are coming out and extending to stay in home. You got de Blasio, that pinhead. basically came on the air and flat out threatened everybody, saying that nobody's listening. And now it's going to be automatic arrest. You have in Arizona, because a bunch of people upset, screw the lockdown, we're reopening our businesses on Friday.
Right.
The governor there has come out and said they will be punished with a $2,500 fine and up to 6 months in jail if they open their businesses.
What?
Yes. Yes. So anybody here from Arizona, get ready. People from New York, I'm telling you.
Oh man.
And if you look, all the states that are pulling this crap, a lot of states are opening back up. Some states are clamping down harder. It's all your blue states. It's all your commie-run states. So
Sounds
good luck
like a winner. Man, Franny, I wish we'd have some protests down here. I've been wanting to go to some kind of rally or protest or whatever. But Mr. Dingleberry has it right. Time to get the pitchforks out.
Yeah.
You know, we need organization. We need people to step up and be willing to lead. You know, we can't have a whole bunch of American patriots, and I hate to even use that word anymore. We can't have a lot of American citizens who love this country out there fighting a war all by themselves. You know, they're organized, and so we need to be organized in some way. I don't know how, John, but we do need to be organized.
Sadly, we should have been organized years ago. It's getting kind of late in the game. Yep. Now you're kind of like basically standing guard at your own place.
That's right.
You know, just try to help each other out. Like I was saying, with seeds, if people need seeds, let me know. I'll get you seeds. You know, read up. When you got downtime, get on the internet, learn how to grow a small garden. You can grow a decent garden in a short or small area very easily. There's so many new ways of doing things.
And you will be amazed at how much produce you get off of a small garden.
Yeah.
You will be amazed.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just getting stupider by the day. You know, these
you still have seeds, John?
What's that?
You still have seeds?
Do I have seeds? If somebody needs seeds, let me know what you need.
Without GMO?
What's
that?
Are
they GMO free?
They should be GMO free, yeah.
Okay, Jackie Koo, contact Fight and Defend, and he's got seeds he'll be happy to send you that are not GMO laced.
Yeah.
So you see there, we're performing a service as well as having a good time.
Well, you know, I mean, we have to. We're family. It's about looking out for each other, getting the information out and looking out for each other, because literally it is us against them. That's it. And sitting on the fence days are over. It's done. Absolutely done. So you're here. You're with us.
Jackie Koo, the name is Fight and Defend. The guy sitting right here looking at you.
Yeah.
He's got to say, if you need him, he'll help you out.
I changed my name tonight. I'm saluting Bill Gates.
Oh, that's right. Just kiss my A's, asterisk, Bill Gates.
Yeah. Get a hold of Bobby. He's got my name and address. And you can just tell me where you are, and tell me what you're looking for, and we'll see what we got for you.
Okay, sounds good.
So
contact me if you want seeds from Jackie. Just contact me, and I'll get you in touch with the seeds or with John, one of the two. What you got going, John?
All right. So there was a guy in California the other day that went to a store to buy bullets and was denied because of a previous DUI arrest. So he got upset and he said that he needed the bullets to protect himself from Bill Gates because of the vaccines. He has been put into a psychiatric ward.
Really?
Yes.
Do you see how it works, people?
He
Do you
said
see
that
how it works?
he said the corona outbreak was an elaborate hoax to scare the people into vaccines that make people trackable through 5G towers. He is now in the loony bin.
That's why Wayne Rogers, Matthew 10:6 says, "Fear them not, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed and hid, that shall not
Absolutely.
be known."
Absolutely, Wayne. Absolutely.
It'll all come out in the end.
Yep.
And when it does, we'll be vindicated. But the
Yep.
problem is, our vindication is going to cause a lot of lives.
Yes. But it has to be done. It has to be done. Plain and simple. The time for sitting back is over.
Yeah, it's time to get really serious about where you stand on the issues, because it's, and I'm not being a doomsdayist, but I'll tell you, we're looking at some perilous times ahead, and you're going to have to make some decisions. Are you going to be one of the government conglomerate followers? Or are you going to say, no, I'm not taking your vaccine? And they say, well, you don't get the vaccine, you don't get the money. Well, keep your money.
Yeah.
I'll not take the vaccine. You will not microchip me.
See, this is how they're gonna leverage it through food, Bobby, is what they're going to do. Starve the people and they'll do. Ask the people and they'll tell you to go screw yourself. Starve them. Let the people watch their kids go hungry and they'll do anything. You know, but in the meantime, okay, you got our buddy Bill Gates just bought a $644 million super green yacht.
What?
So while you people are eating peanut butter and freaking jelly, old Peckerhead just bought himself a $644 million yacht. Yeah, he's real concerned for your well-being.
Yeah, he's more concerned when having that big private yacht to sell his butt over to his private island.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not even going to go into what I think goes on in his private island.
I was just gonna say that. He needed extra bunks for the little ones.
That's right. He and his wife both are perverted.
Yep. So speaking of little ones, and this ought to about frost everybody's cookies, the WHO, our wonderful friends at the World Health Organization,
right,
have come out with new guidelines for parents in the UK. They are encouraging the parents to encourage their children at the age of 4 and even younger to be taught masturbation and gender identity.
Wait a minute.
No bullshit. Absolutely no bullshit. It's right here.
See, it's not enough to teach ninth graders in California that pedophilia is a natural sexual orientation. Now they got to teach them how to jack off.
The World Health Organization standards for sexuality education in Europe, a framework for policymakers, educational and health authorities, and specialists, advise children be taught about sexual pleasuring themselves and transgenderism before even fully learned to talk.
Good Lord. This is all in the great country of Britain.
Yep. The WHO advises that children age 0 to 4 are given information about enjoyment and pleasure when touching one's body, masturbation.
Oh, my Lord.
There you go.
4 years old.
There you go, people. These freaking perverts. Every freaking one of them needs to be taken out. Every last one.
Okay, the WHO has done this in England. It's going to spread across Europe. Now, here's a question. Are we going to allow this same kind of practices to infiltrate America?
Oh, it'll happen.
Of course it will.
It'll happen.
You'll have your 4-year-old daughter coming up to you and say, Mama, I want a bath so I can play with myself. Yeah, come on.
Bobby, think about this. There's people in prison for touching their kids. And now the WHO's telling you to do it.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Show them at 4 years old how to masturbate.
So you take your 4-year-old son and teach him how to masturbate and touch himself. Next thing you know, at the age of 6 or 7, he's touching the little girl next door, and he's in the system for sexual assault. Think about that.
Yeah. Or he thinks it's fine to touch anybody that way, and then he winds up a rapist. This can't be good for our youth. I mean, come on. Let everybody learn like we learned, John.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, it was a growing process, you know, you were a child, then you became an adolescent, and things started changing in your body, but you really wasn't too sure about it. But we all learned on our own, be it through friends or family or even your pastor. You know what I mean? You learn these things. We don't need it being taught in our schools. The last thing we need is sexuality taught in our schools, no matter what the age of the kids are. They'll figure out their own sexuality. Or is it to the point now to where our youth are so mentally deficient that they can't have normal sexual relations like we did back in the 60s, okay, or 70s, or even up until the 90s. Since then, morality and sexuality has went berserk. You got your LGBTQ people, you got your gay rights, you got your lesbian forums, you got all of this, the abortion, everything else, all of this decadence, which the Bible plainly says is an abomination in the eyes of God. But yet, here they are putting these homosexuals in churches as pastors.
Yeah.
Now, how decadent, how anti-scriptural, how terrible is this that we have people standing in our pulpits in churches today who are homosexuals, deviants, LGBTQ, transgender people, and they're teaching our children the way to live. Let me tell you something. If I had kids right now, I wouldn't let them go to the public library. Since when does an LGBTQ person that doesn't know which bathroom to use have the right to say anything to our children in a public library in some kind of forum? They're trying to corrupt the minds, the bodies, and the souls of these children at a very young age.
Yeah, but Bobby, go on the internet. Look at these freaking drag queens.
Oh, I know.
And the parents are sitting there with their kids smiling. Them parents ought to be bitch slapped. How stupid can you be?
I wished I could remember the name of the NBA player who has a 12-year-old son who is transgender. And he talked about, I wished I could remember his name, but he's not a famous NBA player, but he's in the NBA. Anyway, he was talking about they knew at a very young age that he was transgender. And they allowed him to mature in his transgenderism and even reinforced it. So see, a lot of these kids who think they're transgender or gay are taught it by their own parents.
Yeah.
What better moniker to put on your chest to walk down the street and say, hey, guess what? My kid's queer. He's 4 years old, but he's queer.
You know what?
Or he's 4 years old, but he's really a she, and he's wearing a dress. Come on.
You know what's sad about it, though, Bobby? And of course, you got to dig to find it, is look at the suicide rate of kids whose heads are so freaked up by this shit. Yep. They don't know which way they are, and they just off themselves.
They don't know who they are, what they are, or why they are.
Exactly.
All they know is that they're an abomination. They know it's wrong. Don't tell me for a minute that these people think it's fine to live those kind of decadent lifestyles. And I don't care if you have a brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, or any relative that's a homosexual. I'm not going to defend a homosexual, and no matter what I do. It's an abomination in the eyes of God, and it's an abomination in my eyes. I have nothing to do with homosexuals, and I will never have nothing to do with a homosexual. They can never, in my opinion, they can never find salvation because they're an abomination. Plain and simple.
It's unbelievable. Hey, I forgot about this one. This has to do with the be a good boy and girl and stay in your house like we tell you.
Oh, yeah.
This guy in Ontario took his pooch outside of his apartment for a walk, for a bathroom break. Cops showed up and issued him an $880 ticket for breaching of COVID-19 safety precaution. Okay? It gets better. The news media got a hold of him, and he spoke to the media complaining about it. The next day, there was a loud knock on the door, and he knew it had to have been the cops the way they were beating the door.
Right.
And the officer told him he had good news for the 72-year-old. His original $880 fine had been withdrawn, only to immediately issue him a fine for $1,225 for violating the Quarantine Act because he spoke to the media.
What?
His fine went from $880 to $1,225. So there you
tell
go.
me this isn't corrupt.
You tell me this is about safety.
No, it's not about safety.
It's not. You know, and I talked to Sam last night about this. All these states that are saying, oh, we're slowly going to start opening our states. You know what they're doing, Bobby? It's not your work or my work or anybody else's work. It's shit like code enforcement and any type of revenue generating for them is what.
Hang on a second. Jackie, Bible also says that many will stand before God saying, I served you all my days on earth. But they are deceived. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. The Bible says one thing, and evidently you're not reading from the King James Bible and deciphering the Hebrew and the Greek into the true meanings. So before you start calling me out, do your research and know for a fact that God stands against homosexuality. Homosexuality is a sin unto God, and it's an abomination, and there's no change in that, no matter what you say or what I say. Jesus does forgive, yes. But in order to receive forgiveness, you have to change your decadent ways and not do them again. That's what salvation is all about. Being saved from a devil's hell is repenting of your sins and not committing them again. I mean, let's get it right here. I mean, we're not going to argue this. I mean, Jackie, if you want to argue, you can go somewhere else. The Bible stands on its own, and nothing you say is going to change it just because you read from some other book and then you get cocky and put, does Jesus forgive adult Roy? I don't even have an idea what adult Roy is. So I'll tell you what, Charity, get rid of her. I'm not going to debate you. This is my channel. If you want to debate, contact me and we'll have a debate, but you're not coming on here and then corrupt my chat. So, amen, my American mind bender. A preacher like Arnold Murray will tell you the truth every time. It broke my heart when he died, but I'll tell you what, Shepherd's Chapel is a fantastic Bible study. Go there. If you don't know them, check out Shepherd's Chapel. And go back in time and look at Arnold Murray's scripture readings. They're fantastic. Oh, okay. I guess I'll have to do this myself.
We all set?
Yeah, we're all set.
All right. So another issue to think about is with everybody in lockdown and people not being able to drive and businesses not being open. Everybody in lockdown and
go ahead.
The largest ozone hole ever recorded over the North Pole has finally healed itself. Well, isn't that a miracle? They're going to use COVID-19 as an excuse to keep people from driving and doing certain things. Wait and see. The shit is getting ridiculous.
Oh, it's going to hit the fan soon. It's going to hit the fan soon.
Ridiculous. It truly is.
We're supposed to open up tomorrow here in Georgia. The shelter at home and all that, and the closed businesses is all supposed to end tomorrow. And Trump's pretty upset about it. He called old Brian Kemp, our governor, out on it. But now other states are starting to do the same thing, like Texas is opening tomorrow, 25%. We're opening at 100%. We're not going to play their game here in Georgia. That's why we elected Brian Kemp, because he's not scared. But I want to talk a little bit for a second, John, about Agenda 21 and how it was drafted back in the 90s in order to end climate change. Can you believe that? Even back in the 90s, they were talking about climate change.
Absolutely.
Well, my goodness, the climate has changed how many times over the eons of time? From ice age to warm, ice age to warm. It's happened many times.
Bobby, I've got hunting magazines over there from the late 60s, early 70s I got from a guy. And It was an article I was reading, and they're talking about gun control and taking the guns away from the people from the late 60s and early 70s. So it's the same thing. It's been going on for years.
Yeah, sure has. And thank you guys for commenting. Obama was out playing golf yesterday. That's nothing new. Trump press conference today suggested bioweapon. Well, it's about time, because that's exactly what this thing is. It's a bioweapon. Yeah, you're right, Sam. It's called weather.
Yeah.
It happens every day, and it changes every day. Linda Horner said, my nerves are shot tonight. Please say a prayer for me. No one is taking me serious. Linda, I take you serious every time you come on here. And I love you, dear sister. Don't ever feel that we're not taking you seriously, because I take everybody here seriously.
Yeah. And I apologize for avoiding the chat tonight, people. I got so much stuff that I'm going through here. It's just, there's so much going on right now. It's freaking crazy. So, I apologize if people are asking me questions and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, hang in there, Linda.
It's coming. Go ahead.
I was just going to tell Linda to hang in there, because you are totally welcome here.
Hertz Rental bankruptcy imminent after massive layoffs and missed lease payments. So now these companies are going to start folding.
Yep, they're going to start folding, all right. And more businesses are going to fold along the way, John.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ryan Bardwell, how you doing, brother? And Jeff B., Gun Living Grandpa. Sam reports, Wayne Rogers, and Linda Horner. But pardon me, in 2015, it was this whole Agenda 21 was rebranded by the Socialist UN to Agenda 30. But neither had anything to do with global warming and everything to do with reshaping our political world. That's what it was all about. It's fishy. It's fishy that the power elite in politics and businesses met months before the COVID-19 release to discuss how to prepare or not to prepare to handle a pandemic. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Just months before the COVID-19 virus hit, all of these elite businessmen and scientists all met together to figure out how to prepare and how to handle this pandemic. So they knew it was coming. It's absolutely clear more and more every day that these socialists are going to use this so-called virus to achieve their ultimate goal. Global control by the cabal is what they're after. And I know you people say, oh, he's talking the cabal again.
Well,
people,
hang on. I can let me insert something there.
Come on.
For 1 second. First of all, Linda, you always have family here. America's super rich see their wealth rise $282 billion in 3 weeks of the pandemic, while over 26 million Americans file for unemployment.
Wow.
So there's your cabal, people.
Yep.
The slimy, sleazy bastards.
My mom, bless her heart,
They increased their wealth by 282 billion, while 26 million Americans filed for unemployment.
Exactly.
No mercy. None.
I have to agree with you, John. I have to agree, man. And I don't know when this is all going to come to a head, but people, this thing is at the boiling point already. I know everybody says, oh man, you're a fearmonger and you're just preaching fear and all that kind of stuff. But no, I'm preaching preparedness. Be prepared for these things because they are coming. And if they don't come, then thank God. But be prepared because everything that I see and read and research looks exactly like troubled times ahead for us.
You know, people go back 10 years and read the Rockefeller papers.
Right.
Read about Agenda 21. You read those things and you see what's happening today, and it's like puzzle together. And what's scary is what's still yet to come.
That's right. They've got another wave of this.
Oh, yes.
And they have another agenda on top of it.
Yes. And while everybody's locked down in their homes, their immune systems are getting weaker and weaker.
Yeah.
So when they do let us out, bullshit, get out of your house, walk around your yard, a drone flies over, take a shot at it.
Hey guys, go out in your yards or your garden.
Absolutely.
And just take you a good spoonful of dirt and eat it. You know, no,
Well,
I'm serious.
That far, but
no, I'm serious. If you want to have immunity, eat the dirt because everything's in the dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I had a friend of mine growing up, and his mama whooped his butt almost every day because he'd go out there and he'd eat dirt. She couldn't get him to stop. He loved it. He ground his teeth almost off eating dirt. And the doctor said, well, it ain't going to hurt him. Let him eat it. Right. You know, so, but yeah, we don't have any immunity, fight and defend for the things they're throwing at us now because they're new. They're new bioweapons, they're new viruses, and they're things that we haven't seen yet. And it's a lot like the swine flu or, you know, and stuff like that over the years and SARS and all that, but it's a little different. And that's what they do. They just change a couple of proteins or this or that in the cell. And then it's a whole new mud pie, American Bender. That's what it is. It's a whole new mud pie for us to eat. And they do it all the time. When we conquer this COVID thing or we start getting a handle on it, they're going to come up with something else.
Yeah.
Always. There's always another crisis waiting in the wings.
Yeah. Daniel, what's happening with it says someone or something keeps messing up your broadcast every time either one of you speak. What gives?
I don't know, Daniel. Nobody else has complained. I don't know.
Huh.
Thank you, Linda. Yes, we dearly love you too. And you are a part of Deplorable Bobby's family. I don't talk that Patriot family stuff no more.
Everybody.
I connect with my viewers and my subscribers one-on-one when they want to, and I'm always here for you. If you don't believe me, ask Liberty Smith, ask Sam Report, ask American Mindbender, ask any of these people in here that know me. You can call me anytime, and I'll talk to you for hours if that's what you want to do. But right now, we need to get back to the video. I just wanted to shout out a few people like Liberty Smith and Sam Reports and Ryan and Linda and Miss Mary and Wayne and Invader Zim. All you guys, we appreciate you being here, and we don't take you for granted. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't take any of you for granted, and I'm grateful every time I see you in here because we try. Though I may fail, many times in my life I fail. Sometimes I'll say stuff that isn't true, and hopefully you'll call me on it or I'll catch it, and I'll make amends for that. But we can't make excuses for people like Governor Andrew Cuomo. You know, we just can't make excuses for him or Hillary Clinton or Nancy Pelosi. You know, this Democrat effort is against you and I, American citizens, and that's who it's against. They're trying to make us mute. They're trying to take away our First Amendment rights and our voice, and our Second Amendment, our Fourth Amendment, our 10th Amendment. They'll get to the others later. The Democrat, communist, Satanist elite have always dreamed of controlling every aspect of our lives, and the COVID-19 hoax is giving them the opportunity to do just that because we let them. You cannot let these people take control of your life. Yeah, they want to throw money at you. Take it. Spend it. Heck yeah. Because they're destroying the economy already. I mean, come on. What was it when Obama was in there? Good Lord, he had $2 trillion in debt added to the total. Well, I guarantee you, since President Trump took office, that has been doubled, tripled, and quadrupled. And now that he's given all this free money away, and they're talking about $2,000 check and $1,000 a month for 6 months or a year, where's the money coming from? Oh, that's right, John. They printed up 2 little coins and made each one of them $1 trillion. And then they put it into the treasury. Can you believe that? 2 coins worth $2 trillion that they manufactured out of God knows what kind of metals. You know, it could have been 10 for all I know. But they made 2 coins and each one was worth $1 trillion and they handed it over to the treasury. So now they've paid that debt. See? They've paid that $2 trillion debt that they did for the first phase of this payout that they're giving us. And that's what it is, John. It's a payout. It's hush money.
Well, you know what? I got to get my Monopoly money out and go down to my 7-Eleven and see if I can buy gas with it tomorrow. Hey, Bob, I just got this. This is the financial news article.
Come on.
Cattle prices plunge to global financial crisis lows amid soaring food prices. U.S. live cattle futures plunged.
Wow.
I watched the video of a guy. He's a farmer and he's a nice guy. He was saying he brought his cattle in and got peanuts for it. Yeah, meat prices are through the roof. Yep. They are intentionally crushing the rest of the United States farmers, crushing them. Now, I've told you guys before, for years, George Soros has been buying up all the farmland in the United States. All these farms that are being foreclosed on, that dirtbag is buying up all the land. He has said he wants global dominance over the food market. That's how the Communist Chinese Party, are going to be running all our food supplies soon.
You're right, Philip, and I am too. I'm upset with them as well. These world leaders for being slackless, allowing everything to happen that's happening. Let's see who else has had anything to say. Yeah, they can't control an armed population. Rob Call, you're right, and we are armed. And by the way, even though I was accused of this one, being an airsoft pellet gun, let me tell you, people, that is a 9mm carbine. And if you think I'm shooting pellets, well, that's okay too. But then I've had a lot of haters over the last few days. So that's what I expect. Yeah, you're right, Philip. This mess was totally preventable. And that's right. Lock and load and aim well.
Well, this mess was designed.
Yeah. All of this was designed. All of this was made. All these plans were made years ago. Years ago. They knew what their plan was. They knew what they had to do to achieve it. And they did it right under our noses. And then they turn it loose on us. And they say, oh my goodness, there's a pandemic. Yeah, a pandemic that you made, that you released, and that you are permeating on the people in America. And now you want to come up and you're going to make the vaccine too. So it's a double win for you, Bill Gates. A double win for you because you made the virus, you released it, and now you're making a vaccine for it.
Yeah.
I won't take your vaccine.
No
matter what. I am not going to be microchipped.
They're going to have a problem with that. I want to know who they're going to have try to enforce this. Are they going to hire new people? Are we going to have brown shirts? Is it going to be law enforcement? Whoever it is, I highly recommend you leave the now hiring sign up because you're going to need it. Because you're going to be replacing
personally, I think it's going to be the UN.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
please.
I think the WHO's going to take charge of the whole situation.
Listen, the streets will be littered with blue turtles.
Don't worry about that, Wayne Rogers.
We got you,
we'll keep an eye on you, brother.
We got your 6.
But you're right, blue helmets of the UN. Yep. Because I don't think that the military is going to stand and fight the people in their own communities. I don't think they're going to. I don't know if I just don't. Maybe I'm just wishful thinking.
I'm hoping not,
but I'm hoping.
Do I trust our law enforcement? Well, no. They'll be right in the middle of this, but that's okay because they're local. And as I say, for people that live in towns like the next county over, the sheriffs are all allowed to bring their vehicles home. Take a day, drive around, see where these vehicles are parked, write down the house address. When things go bad, you know where to start.
That's right, Linda. Keep praying. That's all we can do.
While they're out destroying your family, have a little fun and destroy theirs.
Yeah, and it's.
I am an eye for an eye guy. Flat out.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You come to my house wanting trouble, you're going to find it.
Absolutely.
I am no bad dude. I'm not the big bad guy that's going to take everybody out.
No.
But I'm the one who's going to stand there, and before they take me out, I'll make sure that I don't go alone.
I have said this before at some of the gatherings I've been to. I'm just an average guy who wants to go to work, make a paycheck, have enough money to pay my bills, buy some food, and have money left over at the end of the week, and leave me the fuck alone. Plain and simple. Don't tell me how to raise kids. Don't tell me what I can say. Don't tell me how to dress. Don't tell me what I can and can't do. As I said to code enforcement the last time they came here, I don't go to your house and tell you how to live your life. You don't come to my house. You come to my house trying to dictate, I will be at your front door tomorrow. Done.
And that's what we need to do. We need to stand up to them and let them know that we're not going to stand for this. We're not going to stand for it. Just because you have a manufactured crisis that somehow gives you additional powers doesn't ring well with me.
No.
Matter of fact, I'm going to go one day next week, and I'm going to go talk to our mayor if I can get him to meet with me, if he'll even show up. If I can't meet with him, I'm going to go to the police department and try to talk to the police chief.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ask him straight out, if it all hits the fan and everything falls apart, what's your stance? What are you going to do? Are you going to take away our guns? Or are you going to stand with us, as we defend ourselves? If you're going to be part of the problem, then let me know now. Because and I won't tell him this, but you tell me now that, we're going to support whatever the government says, then don't put your officers in danger by putting their feet in my yard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Let me say one thing. Wayne Rogers, that's who I was referring to. Not to do a shout out, but if you guys want to know, this guy knows firsthand about the farm industry and cattle and stuff.
Yeah.
He was the one who sold his cow and he got 50 cents a pound, yet it's selling for $5 a pound at the store.
Sure.
He knows firsthand because he lives it.
Yeah.
And it's complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. There's no reason for it. It's intentional.
Oh, that's right. I used to raise pigs. A lot of pigs. And I took them to market in St. Joe, Missouri. And sometimes we'd get this price. Sometimes we'd get that price.
Yeah.
But, you're always going for the bigger price. But you can't let your pigs grow over 40 pounds. That's the weight you sell them at is 40 pounds. They're called feeder pigs. And then these big corporations buy them up, and then they take them out and they fatten them up and grow them a little bit more, and then they slaughter them and put them in the grocery stores.
Sure, they fill them with steroids and everything else.
Amen. And I was going to tell that. I worked for a company one time that used to refurbish all of the cooling systems and the heating systems, which was water. So it was plumbing. And we'd go to these hatcheries, and they'd put out 1.5 million chicks a week. That's how many they would hatch. Well, many times I was there for weeks and weeks, and I was working every aspect of that building, and I saw them bringing those eggs in from the laying houses in 18-wheelers. They'd roll them in, put them on these big old long tables with suction cups that when they stuck the egg to it, it would automatically hold the egg in place. And they'd run this thing into this machine, and you'd have 2,000 needles come down all at once and inject every one of those eggs with antibiotics and steroids and everything else. So they start, even with the eggs, they're putting chemicals in the eggs before they ever even go to the hatchery. And that's sick. They're doing the same thing with our beef and our pork. They're injecting them with all kinds of steroids for quick growth and antibiotics that we don't need. And it's worse, honest to God, John. It's worse than being controlled by the mafia.
Yep.
This is mafioso tactics, Nazi tactics, Orwellian tactics. It's everything that we don't need that they're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, somebody else said too, stop buying any and all meat. Oh, Sam, absolutely. At this point, any meat coming in, let it sit on the store shelves and rot, people. Screw them.
Yeah, I'm not eating African beef. I'm sorry.
Yep. Let the stuff sit there and rot. Do to them what they've done to us.
That's right. And give it to them with all you've got. Don't be a whiner. Stand up. Be heard. And when you do stand up, stay stood up. Don't sit down. Don't let anybody put you down. I'll tell you, I know from firsthand. It's so easy for people to put you down and to put you in a place where you feel like you have to defend yourself, but don't defend yourself. Just stand true on what you believe and hang around like-minded people, because you're not going to change the minds of those who don't already believe. You're not going to change a demon rat liberal into a Republican conservative. It ain't going to happen.
This is what happens when you push the people too far. Michigan protesters storm state capitol and fight over coronavirus rules. Men with rifles are yelling at us. Oh, boo-hoo. So the governor apparently she's at the podium with damn near in tears, butthurt, that big bully showed up with guns at the state capitol. Oh, keep screwing with the people. This is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. This is what it's going to take. And why? Because, and this is what they brought it to. We've asked, we begged, we voted, and you stuffed it up our asses. Now it's our turn. And you ain't going to like what we got coming for you.
Yeah, I think they're going to be quite surprised, fight and defend. I really do.
Yeah.
They have awakened a sleeping monster, and they don't realize it.
A Democrat went on to say, directly above me, men with rifles yelling at us. Some of my colleagues have bought their own bulletproof vests and are wearing them.
I was thinking about getting me one, but when I found out they're $1,500, I said, I think I'll do without.
Some states they're illegal to own, so be careful.
Okay.
When I left law enforcement, they came after mine. They didn't get them, but they came after them.
Right.
Yeah, so apparently some of the demon rats in Michigan are now so scared that they're wearing bulletproof vests to work. Oh, boo-hoo.
You're white, Wayne. There aren't many men anymore. Most of them are soy boys.
Yes, I agree, Wayne.
They're soy boys.
I
And
agree.
they wouldn't stand up if their mother was being raped.
Philip, that's cool, man. He said his neighbor lady gave him fresh eggs yesterday. That's the thing, people, is work with, if you got neighbors that you can trust, work with them. You know, like I've got vegetables I'm growing. People down the road have a different crop. We'll swap stuff off. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, the barter system would work really well if we could just get organized, just a few of us.
And if you really want to piss off the government, do the barter system. They hate that. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Jerry, how you doing, buddy? Glad you're here.
So go up. Good for the people in Michigan. I am happy to see that people are starting to show up armed. They're going to get the point.
You're right, Wayne. There are order followers. And I know that they're going to protect the politicians and not the people.
Oh, here we go.
All right, Philip, you play the piccolo, and we'll be right behind you. I'll tell you what, I'll carry the flag. You play the piccolo, and we'll get somebody else to beat the drum. Heck yeah, if that's what they want, that's what they're going to get. You know, like I said, and I'll say this in every video, and John, I know you feel the same way. We are not looking for a confrontation. We are not looking for battle. We are not looking for war. But we're prepared.
Yes.
For anything that they want to bring.
As I say, people, we did not start this. They did. Rashida Tlaib.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course, she had to get her mouth into this. A Democrat from Michigan voiced her frustrations with the treatment of the armed protesters compared to African Americans. Black people get executed by the police for just existing, while white people dressed like militia members carrying assault weapons are allowed to threaten state legislators and staff. Our gun laws are so broken.
Okay, I got a question for Ms. Rashida Tlaib from Michigan, one of the few Muslims in our Congress. Yeah, okay.
She's still banging her brother?
That's Ilhan Omar.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rashida Tlaib is the one who said to F Trump as soon as she got elected. But yeah, you can take everything that these Muslims say or do, as a grain of salt. And that's all it is. They're bumping their gums because they have no power. They've got a few Muslim followers following them. But see, you have to thank Obama for that, John.
Yes.
See, Obama is the one that brought all these hundreds of thousands of Muslims into Michigan and Minnesota and pretty much took over complete counties.
Yep.
That's how people like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan, I screw my brother Omar.
Yeah.
That's how we get those kind of people in our Congress, along with the bartender, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. All you got to do is start Harlan raids or something like that, and you're going to have them crawling out of the woodwork to support these people. And there's only one thing we can do, and that is to vote them out of office.
Yeah,
we don't have a chance. We don't have another recourse. But let the S hit the fan, and those are going to be my first targets.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, people. I'm not making threats. But when the S hits the fan,
listen,
it's everybody for themselves.
Listen, we're not making threats any more than they are. We're just giving them a heads up on what's coming, like they do to us. It's fair game. They
need to understand that we are not the huddled masses.
Absolutely.
I mean, you've got the huddled masses in the Demon Rat Party. That's all they do is huddle down and do their bidding. But people like us and people like in our chat and people all across America are fed up. Fed up. And we're not going to, what was it that guy said on that? I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
Yeah. That's what's
happening. That's just the way I feel. Don't come knocking on my door if you don't want to get a cat popped in your ass.
Exactly.
Take me out, but I'll take you with me. I promise.
Knox County, Tennessee has announced authorities are telling churches to stop conducting communion, to remove Bibles from the pews, and to even discourage singing during service. Well, people that live in Tennessee, heads up.
So now you can't sing because you're going to spread the virus.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're letting the church be open, but they can't sing? Come on, man.
Nope.
That's part of worship.
And no Bibles.
What?
And no Bibles.
Oh,
Remove
okay.
Bibles from the pews.
Yeah, only the pastor will have the Bible. And you know what that is? That's part of their plan. Take the Bibles away from the Christians, put a man in front of the pulpit up there, and he'll tell you what you need to know. You don't need to read or study or try to learn for yourself. He'll tell you, just like the priest in the Catholic Church do. They don't ask you, anything. They tell you, you got to come in here. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go over here in this little telephone booth with a divider in it, so you can't see me. And I want you to tell me all your dark and dirty little secrets. I want to know all your sins so I can sit over here and please myself while you're talking. And that's what I think of the Catholic Church. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Bible says, call no man father, but the Father who gave you life. And I will never call a priest father, and I will never associate a priest or the Pope with anything even closely connected to the Father. So I'm sorry, I got on a roll there, John. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me. I'm telling you, I really wish I was wealthy and had about a 30-man crew. And in the next congregation that they have at that church, hand out the Bibles, go in there and sing, people, we got your back. And when law enforcement shows up, you got one chance to turn your ass around and go home, because we ain't playing. Done.
I'll sign up, John. We need 28
Done.
more.
Absolutely done. You don't screw with my people.
Amen. Amen.
And
that's something you don't do, is you don't mess with people or their families.
Yeah.
And especially their beliefs.
I don't know these people, but they're still my people, and I will defend them.
You're right, Wayne. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican. It's their way or the highway, and they're always on the extreme. All right, Sam says she'll sign up. That's 3 of us, so we need 27 more, John.
Oh, I knew she'd sign up.
No, I know that, right? Sam is a fighter. Yeah. I love Sam.
Sam's fired up.
The assault on Christianity by the leftist, Islamists, and other faiths that can't be named have weakened our country and destroyed family values. Yeah. Invader Zim, I could not have said it better myself. Scarecrow, count me in. So now we need 26. So we're doing pretty good.
Listen, this is what it comes to. This is what it's come to, Bobby. It really is.
Well, let me put it to you like this. My mother's 89 years old, and she was in her 80s when Obama was elected president the second time. And we always watch the presidential elections together. We've done it for decades. And she sat there and we saw it flash across the screen. Obama has won. Obama is the new president. She looked over at me with tears strolling down her face, and she said, Bobby, I've never shot a gun in my life, but if you'll aim it, I will gladly pull the trigger. Now you tell me where that comes from an 80-something-year-old woman who's never done an evil thing to anyone in her life, and she sees the evil in Barack Obama and knows that the only way to get rid of him and end his reign is through death, because he's still reigning today. Linda Horner's willing. We need 25 more. We got 5 on board. Okay, Jeff B said, don't forget me. All right, so now we need 24.
Fantastic.
And
just so you know, FEMA had just did a $5.1 million order for 100,000 more body bags in preparation for the second wave of coronavirus.
Oh, there's got to be a second wave, John. They didn't kill enough the first time.
Why does 100,000 body bags cost $5.1 million?
They're high-priced body bags. Well, I don't know.
Unbelievable. Yeah, they just put an order in for it. 100,000 more human. They call them human remain pouches because it's much better. It's more romantic and politically correct.
Human remains pouches. I love you, Sam.
So $5.1 million just got spent.
For body bags.
Yeah.
Oh, for the second phase of the COVID-19. I guarantee you, when this dreaded second phase comes, there's going to be a change to some proteins or some elements in the cells. And now they have another virus. It's going to mutate, and we're not going to have, they think that whatever that thing is that helps that nobody can get their hands on. Well, when this second wave comes, there's going to be nothing, because it's going to be a new wave. It's going to be a new disease. It's going to be a new virus, and they're going to have to start from scratch all over again, even though Bill Gates and his minions who are making this second wave possible already have the vaccine. You never make a virus or a contagion that you don't make a vaccine for.
Absolutely.
You don't make the virus and let it go worldwide, causing a pandemic, and then you decide to make a vaccine. That's not how it's done, people.
Yep. I'm with you.
Not how it's done.
I'm with you, Jerry Edwards. So did I.
What did I miss? Yeah, I'm a vet, brother.
I got zero respect for these people, and what needs to be done without remorse and zero tolerance. Absolute no remorse.
Exactly. Because I'll guarantee you, they would not hesitate to shoot you between the eyes. Absolutely. if they were given the go ahead. No problem in my mind about that at all.
This is sad. I was just reading one of the comments that they wrote about this whole ordeal about the body bags. Everybody's talking about it, and this one guy wrote, "Buddy, it's over. Just turn to God."
All right, Liberty Smith, I know exactly what you're talking about. Special ops start doing their job, and I do savvy. I know who you're talking about, and believe me, I think it's going to happen. Sam says, Gates, who is Trump, is making this BS vax. We can now factually link Trump to Bill Gates. You're probably right, Sam. I know that you're deep diver when it comes into Trump, and so you know more about that than I do. Go ahead, John.
I could back Sam up on that. There is an article about Trump saying that if he had his way, Bill Gates would be running the World Health Organization.
I heard that. How about that?
Think about that. Now, I was a Trumper.
Good night, Greg. Have a good night.
But my patience with him are running out. And the reason why I say that is because out of this last stimulus package that was supposed to help the Americans,
right?
Carnival Cruise Line got a huge amount of money handed to them to save them. Carnival Cruise Line isn't located in the United States. Their ships are docked in the Panama Canal.
Right.
So they don't have to pay taxes in the United States. Well, you dig in, and who owns the Carnival Cruise rides? A good friend of Donald Trump's. Him and old Donnie are close. Are you kidding me? He lives in America, but he docks his boats in the Panama Canal so he doesn't have to pay taxes in the United States.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's another way of evading taxes.
Yep. Thank you for your hard work, people. Keep eating peanut butter and jelly. There's nothing to see here.
You're right, Invader Zam. By diversifying the populace, two things have happened. An already more contagious society formed because the diversity is not our strength. That's not, and that's a made-up bull slogan. We do have diversity, but we also stand together. Trump needs understanding. We aren't guinea pigs for profit. Thank you so much, Krabby.
Absolutely.
And I'm with you also, brother, 100%. All right, Sam, I know you have to go, and to be honest with you, I've sat here in this chair about as long as I can stand it. My back's been giving me fits for days, but John, I'm going to give it to you if you have a last remark you'd like to make. I know you got bunches, but we'll save that for tomorrow night.
People, it's getting serious. You know, it's no fear mongering. It's no bullshit. You can go anywhere now, and you don't even have to dig deep anymore. They are flaunting the fact that we're going to be short on food. The bank runs are coming next. They'll be flaunting that in our face soon. They're already doing it to certain banks.
Sure.
Go in and tell them you want to pull out $10,000 cash and see what they say to you. They'll laugh in your face.
They sure will.
It's your freaking money, but you can't take it out.
Well, I'll see tomorrow how much money they let me take out, because I'm going to try to empty my account tomorrow.
There you go.
All but for $10, and we'll see how much they let me get without a problem.
Yeah.
I'll go in there with my phone on a selfie stick, and I'll be recording the whole thing. So I guess they'll give me whatever I ask for.
Oh yeah, they'll give you a set of bracelets for filming them. No, just seriously, just stock up on some canned goods and stuff. Make sure you got some preps, because I mean, we know it's coming. They're tipping their hands saying the second phase of it is coming. It's going to be worse than the first phase. We know it. Get ready. We're going to be hunkered down.
Yeah, this is going to last a long time.
It is. It is. They're going to drag this out as long as they can until they sink us.
Yeah, exactly. And they're doing all they can to run down the governors who are trying to support the people.
Yes.
They're going to run all over them eventually, and it's going to be a simple fact. We're going to be at their mercy, like it or not, because they have all the power.
That's what
unless we take back our power.
Yeah.
We are the people.
Yeah.
We are the huddled masses.
They have the technology and weaponry over us, but one thing that never goes out is guerrilla warfare. They can spend billions and billions of dollars. You can spend about $5 on some glass of rag and fuel and raise all kinds of hell.
Well, look at the Revolutionary War. We defeated the British with guerrilla warfare.
Absolutely.
And that is our map to follow.
And we're going to do it again. Guerrilla warfare. We can't take them on because of their technology, but there's so many ways that you can raise hell with them.
Amen, Wayne. We stand together or we'll hang separately. Amen, brother.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you, John, for coming in tonight. It was a great show. Be honest with you, there's a lot more we could talk about. But to be really honest with you, I'm not one of those who want to just run on and on and on and on and wind up repeating ourselves. And when we start losing viewers, then we know it's time to say goodnight. We've had good participation tonight. I've had great people in here. I want to thank all of you for coming. I was expecting this to be a troll fest, and so far it hasn't been. Yeah. So thank God for that. And everybody, I'm going to leave you with this thought. $99.999 is the most I think you can withdraw at once. Yeah, you're right. $9,999 is the most you can draw without throwing up a red flag. Or that's the most you can deposit without a red flag. So, yeah, anything over $10,000 is considered questionable.
Yes. I think that $10,000 mark is when the IRS is notified.
Yep, exactly. Yep. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for coming. It's been a great show. Y'all were great participants. You had a lot to say, and it was good to see all of you.
Krabby, McCrabface, going to jail is on my bucket list. Bring it, government.
Yeah, I'm with you, Krabby.
Absolutely.
So if us guys hang together and just keep on hanging together, we don't have to start anything because we are a thing already.
Absolutely.
We are a force. These 30 people that were in here tonight or the 23 that's in here right now, I would venture to say that most would defend their families if it ever came to that.
Yeah.
I hope that's the way it would be.
We got good people in here.
Amen. Always.
Everybody that is in here, if you can't shoot, you're still abuse. You're still a patriot. You're awake. You get the word out to other people. That's what it's all about. Not everybody's going to want to stand out on the front lines. Trust me, I understand that. That's the way that I am. I fought that for years, and I'll be out on the front line again. That's who I am. Everybody's different, but everybody has a purpose, and every one of you guys in here, to me, is family and a patriot.
Well, it's like Wayne Rogers said, stay armed, vigilant, and prepare, my brothers and sisters. I know there's got to be 100 million more just like me and you.
Absolutely.
And we've talked about that before in private, John.
Yes,
we're not the only ones out here singing this song.
Yep.
Linda Horner, I love you too. And yeah, you might be right, American Mind Bender. They might have reduced it to just under 5,000. I wouldn't be surprised. Franny Pierce says, Daddy taught me to shoot at 6 years old. Well, bless your daddy. Shoulder to shoulder, no empty words with me, says Krabby.
Yeah.
People, I couldn't have a better group of people in here if I handpicked them.
Awesome group of people.
Yes.
Awesome.
Shoulder to shoulder, no empty words. You got that right, Krabby. So tonight we're going to say goodnight. We've been going now for an hour and a half. And I'm going to let some other people get in here and try to pollute your minds. So be careful of who you watch. Don't go to these click channels because you'll get sucked into all of the evil and the politics and that goes on in these click channels. So y'all be safe.
It's simple. We don't have sponsors. We don't beg for money. We do this because we want you people to understand and know what the hell's going on.
Amen, John.
That's it. That's what it's all about.
You said it all. Thank you for that, John. I appreciate it. Everybody, I'm going to say good night. And I'm going to get out of here. John, say your goodbyes. And we're going to get out of here.
When's the next one?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, 7:30. We'll be back at our regular time. Tomorrow night. We came on tonight just because both of us were ill yesterday. And we wanted to get this stuff out. So we'll see you tomorrow night at 7:30. God bless and be safe.